Hi there, my name is Corey Kingsrod. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. Sorry, I'm looking down on my phone, I'm just finding some tweets that I'm going to read to you later. Right. I wanted to film this video for a while, but I haven't been completely sure how to tackle the topic. I've also been kind of scared of the feedback that I would get, and I just want to preface this by saying if you don't agree with this, that is completely fine. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Feel free to continue this conversation down below in the comments. As long as you stay respectful, there is no problem. Don't worry, if you don't agree with me, I'm not going to tell you to fuck off. And I expect you to do the same. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some tweets to you, and that's sort of what I'm going to stick to in this video, because I haven't written a script. And basically, Ashton Daniel tweeted something the other day that inspired me to tweet something last night, and then that started a discussion on my Twitter, and I think some people misunderstood what I was trying to say, so I just want to explain myself and talk a bit around the topic. So I'm going to mention some names, and that is not at all to start drama. Please don't think that it is to start drama. I've talked to Ashton Daniel a few times. We talk every now and then. He's really nice, really sweet, has very good intentions. And I've also talked to Calvin a bit, and he's also very sweet. He's only been nice to me, and he asked me to send him pictures of my dog once, which if you show any kind of interest in my dogs, or in my dog, I don't have several dogs, I only have one dog, but then I'll automatically like you. But Ashton and Calvin are on completely different sort of groups in the trans community. This isn't just about trans stuff, but it's just about politics in general, but I assume that most people who watch me know about this, so I'm just going to explain that. But for those of you who don't know, Ashton is sort of more, he's on the more liberal part in the trans community, and Calvin, I also believe he's sort of a liberal, like in general, his political views. I'm not completely sure, but he's not like hardcore conservative, but in the trans community people see him as more conservative. So they're very different on the opposite sides of the spectrum, if you will, in the trans community. And Ashton tweeted, so there's quite a few people that follow me and also follow Calvin, and I have some questions. Do you know who I am, or do you hate follow me, or do you literally just follow me because I'm a trans YouTube person? Like, what's your thought process? I'm not kidding, seriously. If you also like Calvin, I want to know your rationale. I'm Norwegian, English is my first language, I'm trying here. And that sort of sparked something in me. Because no offense to Ashton, also no offense to Calvin, I like them both. I watch both of them on YouTube, and I enjoy watching the content, like both of them. Although they are very different creators and make very different content, I enjoy watching them, and I just sort of don't like that idea that if you watch someone, that means that you have to agree with all of their opinions. And if you don't agree with all of their opinions, it automatically means that you watch them just to hate watch them. I don't agree with all of Calvin's opinions. I also don't agree with all of Ashton's opinions, and that's basically why I watch them both, because I find it interesting. And hearing about different points of view makes it so that my point of view is broader, and it broadens my understanding of the whole situation. And it broadens my perspective. I just enjoy hearing what people have to say and then making my own opinions based on that. And that also led me into the whole, you don't have to agree with everyone you watch, or you don't have to agree with all of your friends. And what I see a lot, especially in the trans community, or just politics in general, is that people get caught up in these echo chambers, and it's very easy to fall into that, because especially when you search online, internet uses cookies, right? So if they see that you are into want a certain type of thing, if they see you into something, for example politics, you're into like liberal politics, then the cookies make it so that that's what you see whenever you go online, and the more you search for liberal things, the more liberal things you see. And that can get to extremes. Same thing with conservatives. You see what you search for, which can make you think, oh, I see so much of this, that means that so many people agree with me, and since so many people agree with me, that must mean my views are right. But that's not how it is in the real world. People also do this with, like, this around themselves with people who have the same views as them, and since they constantly get that reassurance that your views are right, that means that they must be right. But again, that's not how it is in the real world. Not everyone agrees with me, or agrees with you, not me, and that is fine. I personally used to be in one of those echo chambers, if you will. Very, very liberal. I'm still on the liberal side of things, but I used to be very, very liberal when I was like 13, 14, and first started learning about, well, I realised I was trans, and then I got caught up in those politics, and I was very, very liberal. And you'll realise that if you watch my old videos or see stuff on my old Instagram, I said a lot of things that I don't necessarily agree with today. And then things start popping up in my recommended on YouTube from the other side. It was like, for example, Ash Hardell, which is a different Ash, who makes very, very liberal LGBTQ plus educational videos. I watched them a lot when I was younger, and I agreed with everything they said. Then some YouTube saw that I liked that person, and then they showed me some reaction videos that people had made on that person, but it was from a different perspective. And then I was curious, and I was like, what is this? And then I started watching those videos. And then at first, it really angered me, because first off, most of them were disrespectful towards Ash, and I just can't respect someone who's disrespectful to someone else. Plus, it angered me, because I was like, wait, how can you say this? This is so mean, this is discriminatory, this is absolutely not acceptable, and you're a terrible person for saying these kind of things. But then I started watching other reaction videos. I kept watching them, although they angered me. I think I was hate watching them, but after a bit, and it wasn't just an Ash Hardell, it wasn't anything really, I came across some people who were actually respectful, and I noticed, they actually make some pretty valid points, I'll give you that. And after that, I just kind of started watching tons of different videos of people with tons of different opinions, and I started questioning my own opinions, and I grew a lot from that, and now I have a lot of friends with tons of, like, all kinds of different opinions, and they're from all over the political spectrum, and that works out fine, really. We have our disagreements, obviously, but we kind of agree to disagree on a lot of things, and we're respectful towards each other, and it's great, which inspired me to make some tweets yesterday. So I said, I know people who won't even interact with someone who doesn't have the same view as them on abortion or gender, and I'm like, question mark? There's no issue in having friends with opinions that differ to yours. As long as you're a respectful person in general, then there's no problem. Just remember, check out this channel Jubilee. They make a lot of great videos on people with different opinions. Anyway, I kept, there's a thread, so I'll keep reading. I'd argue it's better to make friends with people different to you, because it broadens your view and can help you make more critical, and can help make you more critical / skeptical, which is a great quality in life. Not just follow one ideology because you know it's right, especially because everyone in your echo chamber says so. People complain about people not having an open mind and that they won't even listen. They're annoyed that the other party is so sure they're right and won't even question it, when that's exactly what they think themselves. Listen to the arguments on the other side. Try and understand where they're coming from, even question your own views. It's healthy. No matter what you will end up believing in the end, you walk away with much more knowledge and understanding. And it's true, the thing that each party, they're so sure that they're right, because the liberals, they think that their views are best for the people. I'm pretty liberal myself, but I know this way of thinking, because you're like, no, we stand with the people, we are, what's that word? We fight for new things, and we want the best for people, and we'll listen to what everyone has to say, and validate all of their views. We are progressive. We want the best for the people. We accept new things. Sorry, again, English isn't my first language, but that's basically how they think. And a lot of liberal things are really good, like fighting oppression and racism and all those kinds of things. But then I also know that the conservatives think the exact same thing. They think that they know what's best for the people, and they have good intentions. Conservatives, well, they think they have good intentions, and they truly do think that old values is the best for the people, and that religion and things like that, that's how we've always done it, that's how it's always worked in their opinion, and they think that's what's best for the people. And since both parties think that they know what's best for the people, they think they're right because they want the best for everyone and they're good people. So that's why they are right, and there's no questioning that, because they know that they're right, because they want the best for the people. Right, so my tweet yesterday got some, people had some different opinions to that, so I'm just gonna read out some of the tweets and try and explain to you what I meant by a lot of the tweets, by these tweets. One second, I'm really sorry. Right, so someone said, "Nah, this ain't it. It says something deep down about your character if you're against abortion, or if you don't believe in a certain gender, or don't agree with trans people. 9 out of 10 times that person will turn out to be an asshole in another fashion. It's a red flag." Oh, I'm a ghost. That's why. I said, I disagree. Someone may be against abortion because they have good intentions. They had an abortion, regretted it, and want to protect other women. I'm not saying it's right, but they do have a reason to think the way they do. I can understand why they have that point of view. They may not agree with or understand trans people, but could still respect me as a friend or person. They may not support 76 genders, but could still respect someone asking to be called they, them. Just because they don't share your exact views doesn't mean they're automatically a dickhead. They said, thinking someone is less than and not agreeing with the right to basic human decency and rights does indeed make someone a dickhead. I said, my point was that you don't have to agree with someone's opinions to be friends with them. Discrimination is a completely different matter, which I think a lot of people misunderstood. I think some people thought that I would be friends with anyone, like, who doesn't agree with me, but obviously there is a line if you are racist or sexist or transphobic or homophobic, and in the sense that you will actually hurt people that are that way, or are those sort of things, are in those groups. I won't be your friend, because that makes you a shit person. But a lot of the time, just because someone doesn't share your exact views doesn't mean that they're a shit person. There's also a spectrum of opinions, which I will get back to later. This person said, but then not agreeing with a fundamental part of your personhood and identity is discrimination if they don't agree with trans people, for example. I can see your case for different opinions on abortion, but when it comes down to identity and not agreeing, then you have become a second-class person in the eyes of that friend. Basically, they mean that if the friend doesn't see you or doesn't agree with trans things, they automatically see you as less than because you're trans. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I have friends who are practicing Muslims, and their religion is against me. They were raised in a household that tells them that LGBTQ plus stuff is wrong. But I know that they still love me and respect me and our differences. Basically, these people were taught that being trans and being gay is wrong. But I know that they still like me as a person, because obviously they wouldn't be my friend. They're not mean to me, they don't tell me that I'm less than anyone else. They do see me as equal, but at the same time they see what I do in life as wrong, because that's what their religion taught them. But they still respect me as a friend, because this is not their life. They wouldn't make those same choices, although being trans and gay isn't a choice. They wouldn't make those same choices in their life, but they still respect that it is my life. And although I don't live right according to their religion, I know that they still respect how I live my life, and they still like me as a person and like me as a friend. We get along, and that's that. They don't, like, obviously, if someone was against me and called me my birth name and used, like, the wrong pronouns and stuff like that, just because they wanted to be mean to me because I'm trans, I obviously wouldn't be their friend. But I think you can disagree with someone and still respect that it's their life. For example, religious parents that have gay children, they think that those children are going to hell because they're gay. But they can still accept and respect that it's their life. They still love the children, although they don't live how the parents think is right. Wait, there was another thing as well about abortion. Wait. Also, I want to add that a lot of people have the opinions that they have because they're misinformed. So someone may be against trans people, but then they meet a trans person and that changes their mind. So I don't think that just because, like, again, there is a line, like, if they're outright discriminatory, that's not good. But I think that you can be friends with someone who doesn't have the exact opinions as you, and then they may change their mind. But they may also not change their mind. For example, on abortion, I'm pro-life. No, I'm not. I'm pro-choice, sorry, personally. But I have friends who are pro-life. I don't agree with their opinions, but I'm still their friend. And also, right, that's what I was going to say. I think there's a spectrum to, for example, the abortion thing. I think that if you had sex with someone and the condom broke and you got pregnant, I think that you should still be allowed to have an abortion because it was an accident. Like, you didn't mean to get pregnant, you're not in the right spot in your life right now to have a child, and I think you should be able to get abortions. And then get an abortion. Right, I think you should be able to. But then I have friends who call themselves pro-life and who say, no, even if it was an accident, you should keep the baby because you should have made better choices and you should have consider that when you had sex, so it's your fault. I don't agree with that, but that's their view. But they also think that if a young teenager, for example, was raped and they had a child or they got pregnant, then they agree that they should be allowed to have an abortion because it wasn't their choice. So there's definitely a spectrum of opinions. Just because someone doesn't agree with you on something doesn't mean that they are automatically on the extreme end and that they're a terrible person. There are terrible people out there. There are people who don't agree with me on trans things, for example, that are terrible people, so there definitely is a line, as I mentioned earlier. But I think you can get along with people who don't necessarily agree with everything or all of your opinions, and vice versa, as long as you are respectful and respect others' opinions. For example, I don't respect... Wait, no, that's wrong. I can respect my friend who is pro-life, even though I don't agree with his opinions. And that doesn't mean that I see him as less than, or that I see him as a horrible human. I just see him as someone with a different viewpoint than I. I love him as a friend. I think he's great, even though we don't agree on absolutely everything, so we agree to disagree. So just because someone doesn't agree with homophobic... Oh, wait, I don't agree with homophobic people, but just because someone doesn't necessarily agree with gay people, for example, because of how they were raised in a religion, I think that they can still respect that it's your life and it's your choice, and I think they can still love you as a friend. They just personally think that it's not right in their life, but they can respect you. You see? So respect is... Basically what I'm trying to say is just respect people. I wouldn't be friends with someone who disagreed with me, who also disrespected me and didn't respect my opinions and respected our differences. But if you can respect each other's differences, and if you are willing to listen to each other, then I definitely think that you can be friends with people with different opinions than yours, also politically. I hope I explained myself decently in this video. Sorry it was quite long, but as I said, I didn't write a script for this. So yeah, but I hope you liked this video. and I hope you got something out of it. Please ask me any questions in the comments if there's anything that is unclear. I just want to clarify, I'm not for discrimination. There definitely is a line, and if you discriminate someone, you're not respectful towards them. But I think you can not agree with someone's lifestyle without being discriminatory. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please stay respectful, and please treat each other like humans. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves. And remember that you are so much more than you could ever realize. Seriously, I hope you have a great day, a great week, happy weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!